So today I want to talk about lessons we can take from Taylor Damiani's Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Summit that she had online. So we're going to talk from different experts. So we're going to go through some messages from experts. So Alana Carvalho says that perfectionism is about others. In other words, we might care more about having high grades rather than actually what our passion is about, because our passion is about us, but high grades impresses others. Or like when it's about learning, like we're learning what others for others rather than for ourselves. And health includes risks of not being in the favorite. Being healthy means we have to risk not being the favorite, learning, basically not always pleasing, even maybe we disappoint others. The benefit is that we can slowly but surely develop self-compassion, which can become sustainable, natural, and the internalized criticism fades away because one stops depending on external validation. That's usually a quick fix reaction, an addiction. Sharon Martin says, instead of focusing on others like we were trained, uncovering the parts and revisiting the ignored parts. Let me back up, sorry. I want to go back to what Alana Carvalho says. She says, when we stop depending on the external validation, that's a quick fix reaction addiction. In other words, we get a little fix, but then we become empty again. When we do what gives us passion and life and fire, that feeds us, that nourishes us. So perfectionism is all about others versus passion. That's the main difference. Okay, now, Sharon Martin, if we, instead of focusing on others like we were trained to, we can uncover the unknown parts of ourselves. These are others inside of us, other parts of ourselves, and revisit the parts that have become ignored. We can accept the rejected parts. This is to know ourselves, be ourselves, love ourselves. We can learn what our own values are, our opinions, our goals, and our traits that have been suppressed or discouraged. For example, even just how we could start with our appearance. How do I want to appear versus what I think I'm supposed to do, or how to conform or to please others. Weiss talks about how there's this true empowerment, and then there's the false empowerment. One is based on safety and one is based on fear. The first 7 years of our life, we're like in this hypnotic trance and we require an attachment to someone. When we pursue our authenticity, we could maybe recognize that when we were young, if we tried to pursue our authenticity, it could have been emotionally shamed, or it felt disempowering. It was a minimizing, condemning, denying, justifying, suppressing, which is active, repressing, which is passive. And basically we developed a persona because our brain doesn't automatically go with right versus wrong. It's more like what was lived through and what wasn't. It doesn't say, oh, it's right to be myself. It says it is I lived through where I couldn't be myself, so that means it's wrong to be myself. It's not like analyzing things. It's just going by the real self-experience. Then we might repeat the things that we know, even if they're not safe or true, authentic, or really empowering. But in healing, it requires that we trust we're going to manage what comes, even the unknown. We have to put in the work into making new footsteps, a new path. We've got to be able to face uncertainty. And we can recognize that our brain can be programmed to tolerate paradox and serve and support us through facing the discomfort of life, rather than habitually doing what it was conditioned to or trained to in order to avoid any feelings potentially like rejection, in order to maintain an attachment as per the old programming of our self-deception for survival, in order to not die. I want to talk about one more professional. Her name is Erin. She says the scapegoat system. How does it work? It's because the members of the system are recruited. This is like a family where there's a scapegoat. Not just we talk about the scapegoat, we talk about the system of the family. The members are recruited against the scapegoat through a field of scarcity. In order to get their scraps, they have to be part of the system. Those in the network need the scapegoat to be the bad guy to feel better about being compliant. So they need to believe that the scapegoat is bad in order to continue to comply with the system. Siblings, boss, neighbors, extended family, coworkers, a significant other, peers, friends, even one's reputation, all of it can be dismantled from the inside out by internalizing how blaming the target must make sense, since it probably is one's fault if so many outnumber and let the scapegoat be thrown under the bus. and faulting the target, saying you target, you deserved it, which causes the person to feel a loss of self, loss of trust, loss of self with others, negative self-talk and poor self-esteem, inability to make decisions, no energy, low functioning in day-to-day life, and awaiting an attack, feeling defective. And then Taylor Damiani, who created this summit that I mentioned, she says there's some things potentially that we just have to accept. One is that a parent as a narcissist, they are the way, when a parent is a narcissist, it applies to accepting anyone for anything. But if we accept that our parent is a narcissist, that they are the way they are, they don't have the capacity to love, quote unquote, love the way that I need, and they will not be able to provide the love and care that I want. I will likely not have the normal parental relationship from them, and I cannot save my parent from themselves, and they will likely not change. So I have to let go of that hope, and the parent doesn't know how to love unconditionally, and I can find that love elsewhere and from within. So I want to talk a few more things. So first of all, Lily, now no longer part of the summit, I want to talk about how Lily, Joy Friedling, and David Altabef, they talk about what are some examples of needs. Because remember I said we can find that love or whatever it is that we need elsewhere or within. So first of all, we need peace, beauty, ease, harmony, order. We have physical well-being needs, which is like air, food, water, rest, shelter, and touch. We have a need for meaning, which is clarity, contribution, purpose, and understanding, even we might say self-expression. We have a need for autonomy, choice, freedom, space, and independence. We have a need for connection, acceptance, affection, trust, and empathy, love, support, appreciation, and cooperation. Those would all be considered connection needs. And there's a certain kind of bravery in recognizing that there are some things that can be healed. For example, I had 3 things I uncovered in myself to work on. One is I had felt guilty most of my life because of my parental influence, but that didn't mean I have to be guilty anymore. 2, I noticed my relationship with God turned into one where I think of God as the one who hurts me physically because of my parents hurting me. So number 3, I never felt I could be the feminine receiver where I can be fully open to a man and not get hurt, or he won't try to overtly or covertly destroy me either because of my experience with my father. So there's this bravery in recognizing that I can heal those things, right? And I'm going to share something Karen Robinson says. There's 6 pillars of healing. 1 is mental, thoughts, memories, beliefs, and opinions. 2 is emotional, feelings, reactions, sensitivities. 3 is relational, so this is partners, children, parents, friends, coworkers, and peers. 4 is physical, which is somatics, health, mobility, chronic pains. 5 is spiritual, which is faith, hope, moral injuries, religious trauma. And 6 is energetic. This is light, chakras, you might call it meridians or chording, chording, quantum, etc. And for me, healing, obviously, I felt it was about bonding, especially because I'm talking about parents, attachment, all this. So going in, I found like 10 commandments, just 10, because 10 is a great number, and 10 felt right. 10 ways in which I could do positive command in what it would be. So standing up for myself means not guilting myself. And they're either inverses or just go hand in hand, or just you could say in other words. So knowing myself is not shaming myself. Wanting the best for myself, not lying to myself. Hearing myself, not betraying myself. Seeing myself, not humiliating myself. Holding myself, not betraying myself. Wait, not betraying myself again? Hold on. I will be right back. I think I made a mistake over there. Let me just see if I made a mistake. I'm right here. It wasn't to betraying myself. Okay, I found it. Now, so I feel I should go back a few. I actually think I should just read it again. Standing up for myself, not guilting myself. Knowing myself, not shaming myself. Wanting the best for myself, not lying to myself. Hearing myself, not betraying myself. Seeing myself, not humiliating myself. Holding myself, not invalidating myself. That was the missing word. Taking responsibility for myself, not selling myself. Protecting myself, not invalidating. Oh, I did again, not invalidating myself. So I must have made another mistake. Hold on. Protecting myself. Oh, not humiliating myself. So let's make sure. Standing up for myself, not guilting myself. Knowing myself, not shaming myself. Wanting the best for myself, not lying to myself. Protecting myself, not humiliating myself. Hearing myself, not betraying myself. Seeing myself, not seeing myself is not neglecting myself. Wow, I got a few of them out of order. Not neglecting myself, right? Holding myself, not invalidating myself. Taking responsibility for myself, not selling myself. Protecting myself. I said protecting myself. Attending to myself. Okay. Wow, there was a lot of mistakes, but I fixed it. 5 of them got mixed up. So we're going to do it again now. There's a reason. I'm going to continue halfway through. We're up to seeing myself, not neglecting myself. Holding myself, not invalidating myself. Taking responsibility for myself, not selling myself. Protecting myself, not humiliating myself. Attending to myself is not desecrating myself. And understanding myself is not objectifying myself. And I almost want to read it again and again. Maybe that was why I was supposed to read it so many times. But hopefully it lands, and do more tomorrow, God willing. Bye-bye.